Let's do it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Adrian. I'm the Commercial Director at Visit Group, and with me today are Alex from Protect Group and Stefan from the Historic Hotels of Norway. How are you doing, guys?
Yes, very well. Thank you, Adrian. And yourself?
I'm doing great. And you, Stefan, as well?
Wonderful. It's a sunny day in Bergen, so we're always happy here.
Nice. I'm not too far away from you. I'm sitting in Voss currently, also in Norway, so it's about an hour away. Alex, you?
Yes, unfortunately in rainy Leeds at the minute. It's not as sunny as Bergen, but we'll make ends meet.
Yeah, of course. And then to introduce today's topic, we're going to talk about how you can transform your cancellations into revenue with AI. And before we start, we encourage everyone to ask any questions you might have. We might pick them up as we go, or at the end we have some time for a Q&A session. So we'll make sure to answer everything that there is to answer. So without further ado, Alex, what is personal refunds?
Absolutely. Thanks, Adrian. Guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Alex, the Regional Business Development Manager for the Nordics, Baltics and Balkans here at Protect Group. I'm sure those who saw me at Visit Group will probably recognize me, or at least someone from the Protect Group guys floating around. But we'll introduce the topic on what are personal refunds. Now, I wanted to take this opportunity to really differentiate the two from cancellations and actually personal refunds. Now, there's a difference with what we handle, and that is the personal refund side over the types of other cancellations. A lot more customers are now more aware of refund terms, and therefore they are applying for refunds far easier and quicker. And due to the likes of COVID-19 being an aggregated risk that we're all familiar with, cancellation policies have indeed expanded, and now they are a bit more restrictive because those free cancellation policies are unsustainable, and therefore they need tightening up to make it a more sustainable business model for businesses that are on the call today. There are solutions that we are aware of as well that refund for any reason and for anything in general. And again, this is not a sustainable business model to uphold in the business. We've learned, however, through the pandemic that a situation like this causes a significant aggregated risk, which means a lot of customers in particular one area will need to be refunded and reimbursed, and this will create a very large financial hole for hoteliers and like-minded businesses. The money that you would originally have taken for the premium doesn't actually equate to the refund value, meaning that you've lost revenue and you've lost money in that certain area for the consumer on that tangent of business. So there are actually hotels, travel companies, tour operators, whatever it may be, tightening up refund policies currently. Now, they need to make them as customer centric as possible, whilst also not sacrificing that revenue that we've been outlining now. So the problem really within the travel industry is if you refund and the customer cancels, that's somebody not on the seat there. That's a person not in a hotel room, and that is lost revenue. So this is all about finding a solution to generate revenue, giving not only a great customer experience in case of an emergency, but also giving customers the ability and the power to opt into safe, sustainable, and enhanced refund terms. And I guess, Stefan, this is a fantastic opportunity for me to ask you, how was, the historic hotels of Norway affected via COVID-19, and what was life like during this uncertain time?
Yeah, thank you. It's of course, I think we all experienced the crazy amount of cancellations we saw during the pandemic. But perhaps scarier is how much the guests actually learned how to cancel, and how the bar has been lowered for cancellations, meaning that we get more requests on cancellations that, as you say, it's lost revenue, except if we do solve it in the right way, which is what we're trying to do right now together with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thanks. And Adrian, likewise with you as well, was Visit Group really affected via COVID-19, and how was life for you during that time?
It was terrible, obviously, for us, but for all customers as well. So it was sad times indeed. We managed to get through it in a good way. But it's clear that the end customer behavior has shifted quite significantly since then. I mean, nowadays we expect flexible opportunities when we make bookings. I think we learned that businesses that actually offered flexible cancellation policies had much higher conversion as well. So I think now end customers still expect to have the flexibility, whereas obviously the businesses want to make more secure policies so they can keep their bookings, or at least retain some revenue. So, but you're telling me that we can get both here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a hybrid between the two, and it kind of ties me on nicely to the refundable versus non-refundable point there. You know, non-refundable bookings have actually long been a reliable income source for many hotels before the pandemic and before these aggregated risks. And this would essentially ensure, let's call it, stability amongst a fluctuating demand. These bookings would really deter unreliable travelers who might otherwise cancel or potentially not show up, guaranteeing a more predictable revenue stream for businesses. However, whilst offering flexible cancellation options could be attractive to guests, it also brings its own challenges, such as the unpredictability element and the empty rooms, especially when the occupancy rates are high and they are rising, as we've seen as well across the last few months. But I think it's quite clear that there is a shift happening in the hospitality industry, with more travelers questioning extra fees for flexibility. And this trend also requires hotels and other similar businesses to reassess their strategies going forward post COVID-19. And, you know, it could be an element of asking yourself, why would you consider non-refundable rates? Well, both the guest and the hoteliers are familiar with the trade-offs between flexibility and cost, and non-refundable rates offer these advantages that managers can't ignore. And, you know, it could be a case of looking at improved cash flow. It's ensuring steadier income streams, reducing the impact of last minute cancellations. You have that element of lower vulnerability to price reductions, so there's less risk of guests canceling really to any fluctuating in price or price drops, and adapting during low seasons. But coming away from the pandemic and coming away from flexible rates, the popularity now of non-refundable bookings is declining due to challenges faced during this uncertain time. And travelers are now prioritizing flexibility, which, Adrian, it ties back to your point of people now want that flexibility, but they don't want to be paying colossal prices with static rates. And that is where we have a fantastic dynamic pricing range that we will explore a little bit later in the webinar.
That's great. And Stefan, from your side, can you just share briefly some of the key benefits that you see from introducing this internally in the historic hotels of Norway?
Yeah, it's a weight off our shoulders, really. It's we come from in-house cancellation insurance, which I guess most people or most businesses offer, but that it's work, and especially for these life happens reasons, it's also a mental toll on the customer experience team that has to sit and listen and actually take a stand in these cases. So this product really helps us to sort of put that weight away and focus on what we do best, which is create great experiences.
Fantastic. Love the expression as well. Alex, anything you want to add to that? I mean, you have a lot of users and customers all over the world.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're in over, well, pretty much all over the planet. We've got 14 offices worldwide, 400 members. We're in over 80 different countries, and you know, we can really see a correlation that is occurring, and people are wanting flexibility. But as mentioned previously, they don't want to be in a worse off financial position, because in a time where your money could be limited as well, people aren't so well off, and people aren't as maybe financially free as they were before due to the rising cost of living and these sorts of things. So I guess it will lead nicely on to the next point, Adrian, if we can move on to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned dynamic pricing
Sure.
here, right? And we during Visit Summit, we talked about it from our perspective, you know, in the booking solution that we have, where I mean, it's very, I think, clear that if you apply a dynamic pricing model to your ticketing or to your lodging, You will find that guests make bookings earlier. That leads to predictability. You can plan operations in a much better way. It's kind of an indication for the guest what to expect in terms of, will it be a crowded day or will it be a more soft and slow day? And I mean, depending on who you are, you might want either or. But I think you have like taken this to another level, Alex, in Protect in your solution, with also adding dynamic content as well to this. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, great explanation. So we really have been hard at work, and the dynamic content side is very unique because it allows a better, let's say, chemistry with the dynamic pricing to increase conversion over the long run. Now, I'll quickly mention the AI dynamic pricing model as opposed to your standard dynamic pricing and static pricing. People have come a long way in our industry and across the industries to come from a dynamic pricing model where you would essentially only block one element to have revenue there, and then the rest would be missed revenue. So the dynamic pricing model has adapted that, and it's now created banding where there is more variation, there's more data points, there's more parameters that are taken into consideration to give a more optimum price to the customers. And this is where you can generate extra revenue. But what we've done is we've had an AI-powered dynamic pricing model to pretty much analyze data in real time. It adjusts the price instantly based on the current market conditions and data that's feeding in from both sides. The personalized pricing really does tailor to an individual customer. So this alone can increase conversion because it's a one-of-one price every single time, tailoring to the customer's basic data set, the booking data set. Everything is taken into consideration to make sure that they, at that point of that purchasing time, are being offered the right time at the right optimum price to convert and to have that protection going forward. Realistically, you're optimizing the revenue. It's continuously adapting to maximize it for the business. And as you mentioned before, it's a very predictive model. You can really generate some exciting materials from this, which provides you a further competitive advantage because you as a business can respond quicker to market changes, which will essentially in turn help you outperform your competitors. You're enhancing your customer experience, you're offering competitive and fair pricing, improving the satisfaction. And then not to mention, we have a fantastic efficiency offering where you can automate pricing processes. It's not somebody sat behind a screen and just giving somebody a static price, or it's a fully automated model that optimizes price based on so many parameters, and it's such an exciting thing to bring into the industry. And when you bundle this with dynamic content, they just work parallel so nice. It's such a beautiful model to have. And it's really a question of why isn't this more familiar and more common in booking flows of members throughout the Nordics. Now we've came into the Nordics with this. I understand it's a new fresh model and people want to explore it, but it's a very exciting thing to get your teeth stuck into.
Clearly, and I think we all are excited now to hear from our main guy, Stefan, the historic hotels. Let's dive into a more like the specific case of how you guys work together on this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll intro you, Stefan, and then I'll let you take the limelight. But I believe we met at the Visit Summit in September last year, and what an event that was as well. Thanks for having me. So we met most of the guys really there, and we introduced the idea of a refundable booking solution, which all of you guys can see on the right-hand side with the widget. We had a few follow-up meetings across, online and in-person meetings, had several catch-ups, and we finally had the approval from Per and from Stefan. So we then proceeded with the integration. And yeah, I guess I'll let Stefan take over from here with some of the successes that we've had and what he liked about the product.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll start by introducing us. Everybody might not know Historic Hotels of Norway. We are a member organization representing over 90 historic hotels, restaurants, and actually 2 ships all over Norway. So we market and distribute them on the single platform. We went live together with Protect Group on our City Break platform in April of this March, I think actually. It was mid-March, April, somewhere around there. And we do it for what we call our concept of short breaks, where we often combine different hotels with activities, and it's quite a big product for us. and it also means a high level of revenue. They often have a high value booking, meaning that our in-house cancellation insurance used to cost us quite a lot per refund we did. And so partnering together with Protect Group on this Refund Protect means that we get to secure this revenue for us while still handing out a better guest experience. So since we went live, we've had a whooping conversion rate of 43%, which has been a surprise to all of us, I think, actually. But that also means that 43% of those bookings are secure revenue for us from the moment that the checkout is completed, which is great. And as you said, talked about, this AI-driven platform is really unique, and we love being a pilot of this here in the Nordic and be quite fresh in the market. It means that we can tailor the selling points to each customer without having to do the job. And the same with handling these refund cancellation cases that, as I mentioned, often has a mental toll on the staff. We actually hand it over to a computer who can respond quicker, but also in that emotional state that the guests are in when they have to cancel. As we said, personal reasons or life happens. They often are in that mental state where things can be a bit crazy, and so it's easier to give that to a professional partner. And and we've seen the revenue per room has gone up with the bookings that opt in for this Refund Protect. So we see that we secure the highest values possible, and that's been good. And lastly, I want to say also that it's been a really smooth process together with Alex and the team from Protect Group. They've been guiding us through this process. I believe the process is a bit easier now. When we went live, I think you're going to mention it later. But Alex and the team has been great, following us up all the time. And of course, Adrian and the gang in Gothenburg has also done all the technical work. And it's been really smooth, and we're happy to be live.
Awesome, and I can see there is some interest in the chat here to see how it looks. I'm not sure if we have time to show it live now, but we'll make sure to add a link for you to try it yourselves later. It looks really good, and apparently it also seems to do the job. That is fantastic. Alex, anything you want to add to what Stefan just said?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey with Historic Hotels of Norway, and the Nordic people are amazing to deal with, and that's been proven time and time again in Gothenburg and all across Norway. So it's a breath of fresh air to do business with some really good people, and we'd love to replicate this with the wider network, the people that use City Break, because we'll dive a little bit into how you can get involved as new businesses, but everything is pretty much ready to go. Stefan, apologies for making you read 27 pages of terms of business and contracts, but people will be glad to hear that we've reduced that down to 3 for now. So I'll touch base on that later. But no, thank you, Stefan. That was really, really good to hear. I guess that kind of leads us on to the next one, Adrian.
Yeah, I'm just curious. You obviously this increases, it seems, eNPS, so the NPS that the company is using Refund Protect. And also by the looks of this slide, it seems you have some nice reviews as well. And obviously you said before you used worldwide as platform, but just to go through some of the key benefits that you can expect when you start working together with you guys, Alex.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the first thing is with 27,000 reviews on Trustpilot, we are market leaders in what we do, and happy customers are more likely to recommend a business to friends and family. I know how tight-knit the Nordic market is as well, so it goes hand in hand. And I guess this power of the word of mouth marketing can attract new customers at a lower acquisition rate, if any cost at all, which ultimately drives that growth. I mean, Stefan, would you like to touch on customer lifetime value? I mean, satisfied customers will potentially return and spend more with Historic Hotels in Norway. So I think you might be okay to take that one.
Of course, lifetime value is important for us, and the return customers, as we all know, it's basic knowledge. It's cheaper to keep a customer than to employ a new one. So as I said, we're happy to have this platform to sort of increase the customer experience and make it better. And happy customers will return. That's no question about it.
Yeah, fantastic. And I guess differentiation slots into that as well. You mentioned you were the first kind of pilot customer to really take advantage of this, and giving a customer that exceptional customer service value that we can offer, and it's been tried and tested on many, many, many different times. It can differentiate a company from its competitors, making you as the business a preferred choice for customers. And this element of competitive advantage can and will lead to an increased market share or even revenue. But personalized experiences, this one really resonated from me. I took this away from Visit Summit. Adrian, you might even have a comment on this, but we had a slogan that was creating great experiences at the Visit Summit. And I think this resonates well with what we're trying to achieve today. You know, personalized customer experiences are going to increase satisfaction. They are going to increase that customer lifetime value. It will encourage higher spending. Personalizing these recommendations and offers with the dynamic pricing, dynamic content, it's more likely to resonate with customers, leading to increased sales, and it will be direct sales as well. You know, we're relying on pure profit here, and in direct sale nature, it will drive traffic going forward.
I think exactly what you said there, Alex. It's clear that we're heading in that direction for basically everything that we do and operate whenever we are in a technical and digital world. I spent 1 hour in the weekend talking to the new ChatGPT model just to try it out. It's surprisingly good, and it remembers stuff. Actually picked it up when driving to us, and it remembers what we spoke about. I mean, this is where we're heading, and to integrate this type of capabilities anywhere in your business will be awesome. And I mean, what Alex and the Refund Protect does is to integrate the personalized experience when you actually are making a huge commitment to buy something, and it might as well even be high values. Usually in the travel industry, we're talking about pretty significant amounts. So making that experience of feeling comfortable, I can feel secure about this, and also while feeling, you know, touched on a personal note, I think that is key. And we'll see. I think we'll see a nice story unfolding with you, Stefan, and the historic hotels of Norway, as well as, I mean, any customer you might onboard from here on out. Yes, I think you mentioned something about an easier onboarding, which we are all very happy about.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. Stefan, again, I'm sorry about the 27 pages we made you read previously, but we've taken that on board, and we understand, you know, people need to go through these contracts. They need to be aware of what they're getting involved with, and we wanted to make things as easier, as streamlined, and as efficient as possible. So we've completely condensed our 27 pages of terms of business down to 3 pages. So it's a massive reduction in time. It's literally going to take you an eighth of the time that it would have if you had the usual amount of TOBs. So, you know, when we're talking about the simplicity and how easy it is, we're already integrated. It's what we've been hard at work with Adrian across the last couple of months. We're already tested. So the implementation is immediate. We could have a very, very quick turnaround, that being in a day or a matter of days, depending on resources that are available from either end. But what I really want to share with all of the people on this webinar today is we are giving away an exclusive free trial now, and not just a free trial. The product is free itself. It won't cost anybody any money to integrate on board, to have any fees. It's completely free of charge. But what this is a 2-month no commitment to any long-term binding contracts. Try it out for yourselves. See if it works. If it does work, fantastic. We can talk then about some further, you know, further contractual ties to make us maybe go into a partnership together, which will be fantastic. But you can try it for 2 months. See how you like it. If you don't like it, you can switch it off. There's absolutely no problem with it. And it's as simple as filling out this short form, as you can all see in front of you on the right-hand side. You can fill this out. We will handle the rest. Adrian and the gang will also have their eyes over this, and we will work in collaboration with each other to turn your cancellations into revenue with AI.
Awesome. And again, We have some questions in the chat. I'm pretty sure we can get some more there. But do you think we should? We have a question here about if we can sell specific types of products. So in this case, is ferry products. I would say that you can summarize it as any product that you sell online. It's the cart that you put in the basket at the end, like all the products you put there. If it's a package or if it's you've put together everything yourself, that will be subject to then the calculation and everything that Protect does in this case. So there shouldn't be any limitations as to products you can or can't use this with. Also, maybe Alex, a question from me that I think some might be wondering: when a customer then reaches out to make or apply for a refund, is that handled solely by you, or does Stefan? Is there anything that Stefan in this case has to do?
No, absolutely. And that's a great question as well. There's nothing from the merchants or business that is required. We handle everything. We take away the refund liability from the business for the opted-in fares, of course, and we would handle and administer that on behalf of Historic Hotels of Norway. So we obviously, just relating back to the first answer, that was a brilliant answer as well. We would cover for all the products within the basket, and that is at a prepayment stage. So whatever is in the basket, the customer will get 100% of the refund fee within the hour. And that's a very unique selling point for us. So within the hour, usually businesses are taking 5 to 7, 10 working days. Some issue vouchers because it's an uncertain time. I don't think that's much of a problem anymore with the voucher side of things. But when you're talking about customer centricity, we want to be there for your customers, because what is an unforgiving circumstance potentially might result in you needing to fly out and care for a loved one or go somewhere else. So we want to be super customer centric. We want to reimburse within an hour, and everything that was in the basket is reimbursed. We would handle that refund on behalf of the business, and the business is never at any disadvantage. They keep all the money at all times. We do the, let's call it the dirty work. We take care of all of that, and we make sure everybody is looked after.
That is great, and I think a very appreciated service from you guys, obviously. Just to reiterate, we got a question about if it works with experiences tickets as well. So it's, again, any product that you sell online in through the commerce platform of Citybreak and iTicket. Then we also had a question about how long it takes to get up and running, and we have significantly lowered the number of time units because of your nice work there, Alex, with onboarding. And I would say from our side, it's again, as Alex said, it's dependent on resources. Some heads up is always nice, but it should be fairly straightforward to get up and running with this. I think if you have any specific questions or a particular case, then just reach out to I guess in this case Alex and I to get it sorted and clarified. Nice to see some questions, and this one is for you, Stefan. What is the feedback you've heard from your guests, if you've had any?
We haven't had any direct feedbacks. We just talked about this. Our main season is starting this week, so we haven't had the time to get any cancellations or any usages of this. But I would say that a 43% conversion rate is quite a good feedback, I would say. So I think people appreciate this option and the service, and it shows that they have a trust in the service. And I'm sure that the ratings for the cancellations when they arrive will be quite good as well.
That is, I'm just shocked by the number, 43%, and that also, I don't remember if you mentioned it, but the lead time of your bookings is at least almost 3 months or 2.5, 3 months, right?
Yeah, for the higher value bookings, we see about 3 months. For the day tours, it's a bit shorter of the lead time.
I mean, that's just great to be able to secure the revenue in that way. And let's see, I really enjoy that the active attendees here are asking questions. And this one I would say is for us, Alex. What does the product cost? And then if the customer pays for insurance, are you keeping the full amount, or how does that work? Do the customer have to pay? I mean, the customer in this case being, for example, Stefan.
Yeah.
Historic hotels.
Of course. So at no point is this customer or business paying. We offer this as a profit share model. Now, it won't cost the business anything, and I'm talking zero at any stage of the process. It's a completely free of charge offering. What we're looking to do is we're looking to enhance your current terms and conditions and enhance your offering, but at the same time, generate a revenue share. Now, when we're talking about a revenue share, it's a percentage of the markup fee. Let's say, for example, what we're offering with the Visit Group guys, and this is what, you know, Visit Group wide. If the reservation was, let's say, 100 euros or 100 NOK, and the dynamic pricing usually gets it to around 10%, we sometimes go lower, we sometimes go even lower to increase that conversion. Let's say the booking value is 110. We wouldn't take any money from that apart from the 10 of the markup fees. So we split that 60-40 with the members. 40% would go to the member and 60% would go to us, meaning that the member is walking away with 104 euros. So they're making an ancillary revenue stream, they're securing revenue, and we simply take 60% of the markup fee to be able to pay the refunds when the time comes. So zero cost, nothing to do with costing. It's a free of charge service. We simply generate revenue share, and everyone's happy.
Great. I mean, it's it sounds like a no-brainer, but it's really great, and I think we've all learned some things today. I have certainly done that. I don't know if there aren't any more questions. I'm thinking that we might round it off and send everyone back to their work days. But to sort of summarize, Alex, do you want to just briefly summarize everything so we get it with us?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's evident that we're going through some uncertain times, and there is a lot of cancellations that are impacting smaller businesses as opposed to bigger ones that can actually, you know, more frequently afford such a loss, and they're not going to be at any disadvantage. We've created an amazing product that is able to safeguard revenue, enhance your current offering, making you more competitively advantaged, making you more at a competitive advantage to your potential customers. And we're offering this as a free of charge service. You've got a 2-month trial period. You can try it out. Let us know what you think. Again, as Adrian said, if you guys have any questions after the webinar that are, you know, picking your brain, feel free to reach out to myself, to Adrian, to Stefan. You've got a use case scenario there. He can give you all the information that you need. But yeah, I think to summarize, we're aware cancellations are a problem. We have a product here. It won't cost you a thing, and we're here to help. So let us know what we can do for the business. And thank you all so much for taking your time today to join us. And I hope to speak to you all soon.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you.